Welcome to 108 This is the Aries reading for April 2024. Hope you're well. Fellow Aries, we have a lot of energies flowing through our house at the moment. There's the eclipse on the 8th. There is a conjunction on the 10th. We have Chiron there. There is Mercury retrograde in Aries, and all of this is happening in the bosom of North Node. So there is a lot of acknowledging the truth happening. There's a lot of things, to be honest, because there's so much back and forth, so much this, that and the other, and it's just really going to be pulling us in different directions. If you're not already feeling it, that is. So we're going to be stepping into new spaces, new places. The thing that was coming up as I was preparing for this video was there are some things we have downplayed. There's some things that we've looked at and kind of minimized it, or we've just kind of underestimated the impact it's had on us, because we have been in such the full energy, in the full mode of like, it doesn't matter what's coming at me, I don't know. I don't really want to be looking at what's being thrown at me. I'm going to just like get over it and move on. That's great on some level, but some of those things that we've gone and moved on from are coming back up for us to kind of really clear out and see where it has impacted us and how it's impacted us. So an example of that would be if there's a particular relationship or a particular relationship dynamic that has been troublesome, that has been aggravating certain parts of us, we may have just been like, you know what, I'm not letting it bother me. But deep down in our subconscious, it has been bothering us, it has been impacting us, and this is the time when it's going to start coming up and showing itself so that we can actually deal with it full on, head on, properly. So the reason a lot of this stuff was ignored, it was kind of overlooked. It was not wanting to harp on about something, not wanting to just stay stuck in the negative of something, because we just want to be loved, we want to be loving, we want to be kind, we want to be receiving kindness from others. So we've kind of just not escaped, we've overlooked so much that it's kind of been detrimental to self. The beauty of this is when we start acknowledging the truth of this and we see the truth of this, we can actually start reclaiming a lot of our power. We can reclaim a lot of our ways of doing things had we not had to deal with this bombardment of energies from others, this disruptive energy from others. So it's about reclaiming yourself, but this time when you're going off into the adventure as a fool, like the adventurous and open-minded, open-hearted space that we want to be in all the time, it's going to be bringing this love back to yourself first, making sure, are you respecting yourself, making sure you're loving towards yourself. This is where this conflict is coming up. Like I said, it's because then you're going to start seeing, I've moved on to different things, I've moved on away from certain people, away from certain situations, because I felt left out or fear of being left out. Instead of putting yourself in that risky situation, you've kind of just ignored it and moved on. I don't need this. I don't want this. I don't have to deal with this. Move on that way. And then it was in the guise of being self-loving. It was in the guise of self-protection. That's all well and good, but it's going to come up now of how to genuinely, sincerely love yourself, how to genuinely, sincerely honour what you need and what you want. Wheel of Fortune. This is going to turn things in your favour. It's going to turn things around, which because you haven't been acknowledging these things, you haven't seen where it's impacted things, you haven't seen how it's impacted your mood, how it's impacted your output or input as a human, in business or academically, professionally, in relationships, in friendships. So as you start seeing more of this, you're going to see more opportunities arriving. You're going to see more of yourself illuminated for you to appreciate and for you to utilise for your benefit. So this part here, this fear of being left out, or this feeling left out, instead of ignoring it, actually acknowledge to yourself, I felt left out here. I felt left out by that. I felt left out in this group, from this group. I felt left out as a child from I don't know, it could be siblings or whatever it is. to acknowledge this. It may be really cathartic and really helpful for you to start gathering where you are actually going to be stepping in as a leader, where you're going to be stepping in as a former self, reformed into a stronger version of yourself, a more empowered version of yourself. So there's a lot of energy here that's tugging this way. This is where things are stuck. So if you think about snagging like a cardigan, or you kind of get stuck on something, so you get caught on something, this is where things keep getting caught. So you have to let this go. You have to actually admit this has happened, that this is happening. You don't have to be hardcore all the time. So in admitting that this has been happening and where you've been feeling it, you can start letting it go. It's like, yes, I felt left out, but that actually isn't where I wanted to be anyway. So it isn't of great impact on me, and it could have been, but at the same time it still is impacting me because I moved on too quickly. I moved on too fast without acknowledging where I was feeling left out, how I was feeling left out. So in this also, you're going to have other nostalgic memories coming up, nostalgic times coming up of what you had, instead of focusing on the negatives. So it's a really complex energy. Not only are you seeing the benefit of not staying stuck in feeling left out and moving on, but you're also going to benefit from slowing right down and acknowledging that, yes, there were times that you felt left out, you felt that you were excluded from certain things, but you're letting that fall anyway. Because you're seeing that it wasn't exactly for you, it wasn't part of your bigger picture, your longer path, your longer plans for things. So you're benefiting twice over. You're benefiting from acknowledging that you've been left out, then moving on even stronger, but you're also acknowledging that you didn't stay stuck in this space too. So it's really, really a deep clean, a deep clear out, and a deep reconnection with yourself. It's almost as though you're saying to yourself, I made a decision and I went this way. And in visiting this, in seeing this, acknowledging this, you're going to have that confirmation of you did the right thing, you did the correct thing, you went in the correct direction, you didn't stay stuck on that. Well done, Aries. So you're having the reaffirmment that you made the correct direction, which is going to boost your confidence. It's going to boost your healthy self-esteem. It's going to boost your healthy connection with your ego. Your ego is going to be able to let go of unhealthy super ego structures. So all of those rules and regulations which you didn't fit in with, which are hypocritical anyway, which are not useful to anyone in society generally anyway, instead of trying to be a part of a group which was kind of low vibe, low key, you're going to let that expectation of you be obliterated from your super ego. Therefore, you're more content with who you are in your id, who you are as yourself, and your ego then has less fight. It has less of a battle within you, because then you're seeing, feeling and believing in more contentment of the truth of who you are, and the truth of you following your gut, following your intuition, following your instinct is going to build that confidence in that. I hope that makes sense, because it's a really powerful energy. The judgment coming in of this. So this is without you judging yourself. The judgment coming in from this is basically going to be shining a light on. You had the capacity and the ability to let go of this. You had the capacity and the ability to see that, yes, you may have felt left out, but you could feel in your guts, you can feel in intuition and instinct that it was no value to you anyway. It was of no importance to you in the bigger picture anyway. It was the construct which made you feel, think, believe that you had to be a part of it. So it had power over people when it says you can't be a part of our group, you can't be a part of our team unless you do A, B and C. You, Aries, unwilling to compromise certain parts of yourself, said, I'm not doing this, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to be a part of this. So you didn't take that rejection as personally as some others would have. This is now where you get to the double fold, the twofold liberation, the twofold empowerment from knowing you went in the correct direction for you, also knowing that you didn't want to be a part of that thing that was trying to make you feel rejected anyway. This, let it tumble down. Let it tumble down. Let the last bits tumble down. Let your acknowledgement you did the correct thing for you tumble down, and you will be rewarded. Let's keep going. Woo, there's a lot of energy here. Keep going in your direction, keep going in where you wanted to go, because you built up some amazing memories without this restrictive, limiting group, without this limiting, restrictive kind of expectations of you. The Judgment is really is celebrating your independence. It's celebrating your ability to see through things. It's celebrating your ability to have that courage and have that strength and just move on from what wasn't for you. Therefore, the spilt milk is going to be a flash. It's going to be still there. There's going to be some grief of some of the things that you... The thing is that's here that you really need to clear out is, it's all well and good having a stiff upper lip and going forward and this, that and the other, but there are some aspects that are going to bring up some grief of not having things the way you exactly wanted. So as much as you didn't want this particular group, you did want some kind of structure around you that you felt a part of. The thing is, the beauty of this is, because you weren't stuck in that mode, give yourself that moment to grieve a loss of something. Give yourself a moment to grieve things that weren't the way you wanted to, because in that space then, as you let that go, you can have the ideal people come to you, you can have the ideal situations come to you, you can have the ideal way of being come in for you to be supported even stronger. There you go. So you got the King of Cups. This is the primary thing that's coming in, that self-love. Those 3 cups are of no relevance when you're going to bring in this big massive cup, the divine love, the big love, your self-love, your self-respect, healthy self-esteem, all those great things, making sure that you're understanding, what does love look like to me? What does love feel like to me? What is an expression of love that I haven't had from here? And I'm glad I didn't ask for it from here, because now I can see I wasn't going to get it from there anyway. So when I went off and tried to find it elsewhere, I may not have found it here, but that tiny part of you that wanted to be a part of it, tiny part of you that wanted some acceptance and love from there, it's about letting that come up, let it be released, feeling the grief and letting the healing happen. We do have Chiron in Aries, so another tower. Like I said, let this go and then let that grief go, because it's going to open up so much space. It feels like this wants to just keep going on and on and on. Pouring in your abundance, pouring in your strength, pouring in the prosperity from being a strong person, pouring in the prosperity of trusting your intuition and instinct. You went in the correct direction. This is a great opportunity to show yourself that you have been going in the correct direction, regardless of what's still stuck there. Let it go. Regardless of the grief, let the grief come up, acknowledge it, let it go, let the love pour in, let the healing happen. Gorgeous reading, Aries, and very, very strong energies around for us right now. And so join the channel, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, love your appreciation and support of the channel, and means a lot to me. So for now, until next time, peace and love.